Well, when I met with you the first time, I had already met with Scott, or Dr. Hamling, and he had said, this is what we're gonna do for treatment. And thankfully I met with him because he's so calm and he just makes you feel really at ease. So then my first meeting with you, I think it went really well. It was just kind of, for me, I'm about relationships and I like the relationship side of things. So, being able to meet you and you saying this is what we're gonna do and building that trust with you is what led me to listen to everything that you tell me, which sometimes I didn't always love. However, meeting you for the first time, I was like, okay, I'm in the right hands and I know this is where I'm gonna go next. And you just have that same mentality that I do of, okay, this is what we gotta do and we gotta move on.
I think it's hard too. On that very first visit with patients, they just have a diagnosis recently of cancer. I think it's very hard. I inevitably have tons of information.
It is, and it's scary. I mean, there's so much, like you said, it's overwhelming and we're getting all this information and, I didn't know what to expect by any means whatsoever. So, and you can't necessarily say this is how you're gonna respond to this because you've not done that either. So, so it was really a learning process for me. And I think if I wouldn't have felt as comfortable, if I would have been a, I don't know if I really liked you kind of thing, because that's kind of what it's about.
Obviously you did.
Obviously I did. Then I don't know that, my attitude and my mindset was also based off of you and everybody that was, helping me through this process. So,
actually that's a really good perspective, because sometimes I don't know that we appreciate how much our attitude or our kind of viewpoint plays into how the patient feels about it.
I think that's really true. And it does. I mean, it does make a difference. And, when you were, you've talked before about the outcome of patients and, sometimes it seems like, I don't know how you do your job because you don't always give the best news to people, and I know that. But I just always felt like you guys cared. Everybody on that team cared about me and really wanted to make sure that I was in the best care that I could possibly be in. And whatever questions I had, I could ask, and you guys got me through that. Well, I have to say, Dr. Hamlin wheeled me through the hospital in a wheelchair, and you've not done that. So I feel that it's something that we have to do. I don't want to be there ever again, I'm just kidding.
I am the one who kept you on chemo.
You did keep me on chemo. That was a rough day, I will say. That was a really rough day. And I'd never, I didn't have, I really had a gung-ho attitude, and I think that's the only time that I really was doubting what I was going through, and that was on my third bad treatment. And I knew then, I had more trust in you because that day that we sat there and I cried and said I'm quitting, and you were like, you're not quitting, that helped get me through that, so.
You're stubborn.
I am stubborn.
Just a little.
You're stubborn.
I am. Just a bit young.